in 2017. Now, Nigeria are at the receiving end in terms of battery, molestation, and xenophobic attacks in South Africa and recently in China as well. Joining me from our Abuja studios is a lawyer, Onoja Friday Ramses, and with me in our Lagos studios is Mr. Leonard Anyogo. He's indeed from the Chatham House, London. I want to thank you, gentlemen, both for joining us on State of the Nation. But let's start with you in Abuja. Let me get your thoughts on this. Nigeria and the US obviously have very strong bilateral relations with each other, of course, looking at the adverse effects.
I was saying, I just saw
419, that criminal code, according to reports, are not your average, Joe you would see on the streets normally. These guys that we hear that have perpetrated this crime in the United States are well-read, very skilled, and educated. How does this position Nigerians living abroad, living in the United States, does it put them in a vulnerable position, especially those living in the US?
it is. It will, for sure. There is always a tendency to tie everybody with the same brush when crimes like this are disclosed, especially if most of the perpetrators are identified as Nigerians. So certainly, Nigerians are going to be walking around, with that sense of stigma. And yes, everybody will be considered as a criminal until you can show you are not. And many times you may not even have the opportunity to show you are different. So it is a bad thing. It will affect Nigerians, both those living there and even those of us at home, because many people have to travel. Cross-border travel and commerce is now a global thing. And so a Nigerian is always not going to be on the backbench trying to show that he's not a criminal.
Okay, so let me bring it. Let me take it away from you for a minute or two, and then bring it back to Mr. Anyogo here. You're well experienced in cases like this. As a matter of fact, having been a member of Chatham House in London, you would have seen these kinds of cyber criminals who have, hit and run, if you will, many a times, and are from Nigerian origin. How will this be viewed by the international society? Is it a case, for instance, that one would say that, okay, I mean, it's been there with Nigerians, and so they're not surprised, are you?
Well, first and foremost, let me be on record that I am a very proud Nigerian. I'm proud of the passport I hold, and I think I earned that respect among the Committee of Nations globally. So it's quite unfortunate because we tend to believe that crime is just restricted to just Nigerians. And let me just quickly say so, because I'm also a very active legal practitioner, that these are just still accusations. They are still going to pass through the legal system of the United States. And of course, if there's conviction, good, if there's, based on the findings of the FBI. So let's not just condemn this unfortunate Nigerians, so to say, because they actually don't represent the Nigerian image. Unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, they tend to tag Nigerians as a bunch of criminals with the greatest respect. And I take very serious exception to that. And it's a way we carry ourselves, because crime is done globally. Let me tell you something. Every average black man out there in Europe or in the US or whatever is seen to be a Nigerian, which is not normally the case most times. Because you see people from other African extraction. Nigeria, of course, is the most populous country in...
you mean they claim to be Nigerian?
Yes, they claim to be Nigerian. That's the fact.
But is that the case in this arrest?
In this arrest, of course, it's viewed to be... they are carrying Nigerian passport and they live in the US and all that. But the point that is being made is that let us not quickly condemn them yet, because the legal system of the United States will see have to judge them guilty or not. So, but I would say that it's a very good image. It's a very bad image for us. We have this orientation of wet and just wet and wet alone. You see, Nigerians are very creative, very knowledgeable people out there globally. They respect us. We're among the best in the media, among the best in the medical practice, in law, and I'm of course international policy, and by the grace of God, I sit among the best in the world. I mean, as a president, I've been a member of the Chatham House, so we have this very image problem that we tend to even hype our negative image more than the positive aspect of Nigerians.
That's where the question lies, the image of this country. Let me bring it back to you, Mr. Onoja.